opportunity and experience, and now I call on these people if I need, if I would needed to ask questions about something, and where that platform John, because he lives in New York,
through the bar industry,
is that he was dating Poison Ivy for a bit.
From the show,
I don't remember her name. Her name is like Maggie or some shit like that. But she's
It's Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy.
Yeah, and I'm like, he calls me one day. He's like,
matter.
yeah, he's like, hey,
It doesn't matter what your name is.
he's like, hey man, he's like, guess what? I'm like, what's up? He's like, so there's like this girl. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, she's Poison Ivy on Pagani. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You serious?
Yeah.
That's great. How is she? And she's like, she's awesome. Yeah. And then she like broke up with him like a month later, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Yeah. It's just the culture up there is just a
we
lot.
talked about it.
The dating culture is just fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, there's in Los Angeles now, the big thing is open relationships.
Perfect.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
So,
So
it's
funny.
like, we're going to date and like snuggle at the end of the night, but if I go out and F this dude, you can't get mad at me. And I'm like, wait, I don't really like this.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier for you to go out and hook up with somebody than it is for me.
Yeah.
So you're getting the better end of it.
Yes.
Like, I'm like a good shape for cuddling. And then there's only like, there's all these
You've got that
handsome-
belly that just sits in the
Right.
lower part of your back.
And I'm like, and I'm nice, and I can be sweet, and like then you get to go get like
Dig down.
D on the side, and
D down my fucking Dion.
I come back and what, like fucking high five you, like good job tonight, girl.
You
You
better
whining dog? I 60 out.
Yeah, I know what that was about.
take a shower before you get in this fucking
Easy,
bed.
fella.
Right?
Jesus.
I just don't think it doesn't work. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
Just
not.
as human beings,
We're not
our-
built like that.
We're not
Yeah.
built that way.
Yeah.
It's something that people want to work, but it's like
Yeah.
it's completely impossible.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. So, yeah. What was I gonna say?
LA's awesome. Go to LA.
Yeah.
At least to visit.
It's
you
really
haven't
cool
been.
to visit. You have to have some thick skin to live there. So, are you members of the Fraternal Order of Bartenders
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay, so like that group has like 60,000 people.
Right.
So if you're ever in a city, they've
dude.
made a network
Yeah.
where you're like,
Connect
hey, I'm
with-
here. Where do I go?
Perfect.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
500 comments of where to
Shut-
go, who to hang out with, go say hi
Right.
to.
Never thought of
you
that.
know,
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
yeah. So if you're
Chris, we gotta
visiting
shout that
somewhere,
out.
We should make a whole trip around the country and just do that.
you could.
Just literally be like, hey, we're in Austin tonight. Where are we going?
Shout out to the Fraternal Order of Bartenders.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super. It's a really good idea.
I'm gonna reach
link
out to
up.
the
Let's
yeah.
link up.
I'm gonna reach out to the admin or
Yeah.
the originator of that group.
Absolutely.
I figure, I mean, between the conversation that we were having about Tales, about trying to bring a bar expo or show here,
Okay.
Reaching out and try to get those guys, like one of those shows to come here. We are waiting. That's beyond this. I think that the opportunity could. I think that's cool.
Absolutely.
And because and the network is so big.
Right.
Right.
So when I went on the trip around the country, like I was saying, when I was bored or lonely in Austin, I would check it on Facebook, and I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I'm like, can one be here?
One of you knows
Right.
exactly
You know what
where
I
to go.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's it's one of those things that you have such an outreach. You're in Biloxi visiting your aunt, and you post on Fraternal Order of Bartenders and say, "Who do I know in Mississippi?" And there's 600 comments of where to go, what to do that night, everything like that. So I mean,
The
people
Tinder
come
for
to.
bartenders.
Well, I was just going to say it's probably easier with the major cities, but I mean, branch off even more and be like, hey, I'm going to be in Delaware.
Right, exactly. That's when I would do
Where
it.
am I going?
Right.
There's got to be a fireplace.
If there's a Chad from Ohio, I would like for you to break the stigma that I have about Chads from Ohio. Please fucking call, email us at Passing the Bar
we gotta have a line
podcast
one.
at
I can
Gmail.
only say so much. I love you, Ohio, but change Chris's mind. Send in some stories.
What is this thing you have with Ohio, man?
It's
You gotta listen to it. You'll hear it.
it's about racist.
It's more so the people that
Oh,
come
wow.
in on vacation that do not represent their city well.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Understood.
But you
just
can say that about any city.
It's a
You know,
running-
especially out
Yeah.
here.
It's
You
a
know?
running joke, and honestly, I've never been to Ohio, so
Right,
I'm the
we don't-
asshole here. I came out really hot at the beginning, and I just decided to keep it as a running joke for the rest of
It
the
is
season.
just a running joke.
It is a running joke.
I'm sure that LeBron James is from Ohio, so it
Oh.
can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been, but I don't remember anything in particular about it.
Suction.
Cleveland and Dayton.
Okay, and that was my next question. I was like, usually people who go through Ohio, they go through Dayton, which is probably the Fresno of California.
Okay, give me a rural part of Ohio. That's where I want to go.
Dayton is rural
Okay,
as
sick.
fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go
Did you do a
there.
wedding there?
I was there for
Like
that is a
13 days or
great
something.
gambling story with a lot of people involved.
I'm going to Snow.
Yeah, I got stuck in Ohio, Maumee.
Yeah,
Heard of it?
yeah.
Maumee?
M-A-U-M-E-E.
Maumee or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that I was telling you about that was a Major League Baseball player, he got married there
Oh, okay.
because he was playing for the Toledo Mud Hens,
Yep.
and he met his wife
Yeah.
there,
Jesus.
and so they got married there. And our good friend Joe Fu decided after the wedding it would be a great idea to take me to the casino that was brand new, the Hollywood Casino. I was completely
Hollywood,
blacked
Ohio.
out. I was completely blacked out drunk. And I like come to, and I'm like, what in the hell is going on? And like it's like 6 a.m. My phone's dead, and I have like $180 in front of me, and I'm at a blackjack table.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, the dealer was
How
like,
did I get here?
No, the dealer was like, "Are you all right, man?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "How have I been doing?" And he's like, "What?" And so I'm like blacked out, still playing blackjack because the game is so finite that you know what to do in any situation. So I
Right.
can literally play blackjack when I'm blacked out. And I go to the ATM,
Yeah, he came back.
and it was like, "You're past your withdrawal limit."
Oh wow.
And I was like, "Uh-oh." I was stuck 5,000.
No.
And I don't remember doing it. And Joe Fu, I hope he watches this or listens to it, drove me there when I was blacked out. And I'm really pumped because he easily could have driven me back to the hotel where I would have gone to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
So me being
Blacked out drunk.
half degenerate, well, I was like, I need a room. I was like, obviously you're going to comp me a room. And the guy goes, there's no hotel. This is just a casino.
Oh god.
And I don't have any money because I sent the 180 in a desperate attempt to triple up 14 times.
Yeah.
And
Drunk Trey strikes
so
again.
yeah, so I get like I had cash in the room or something, so I get I was with Tara Myers,
Okay.
and so I get this cab back to this room, and me being the degenerate that I am, and also I like am super competitive. We stayed there for like 11 days.
Until
I
you
think
got
it
your money
was,
back.
until I got my money back, and each day I progressively lost another $1,000 every day. So this wedding trip to Maumee, Ohio, wound up costing me. I think by the end of it,
So
I was
you're
stuck
saying-
like $12K.
So you're saying fuck Ohio too then?
Fuck Ohio. Yeah. Completely separate. I'm calling Clay, or my buddy who got married, and Clay is like, Trey, I'm on my honeymoon. Stop calling me. Where are you? I'm like, I'm still in Maumee. And he's like, get out of there. Get out of there. So I had this guy I met was like, this casino is new, but it's on. They built it on some weird land.
Fucking Indian burial
Indian
ground.
burial ground.
Shut
ground
the
or
fuck
something
up,
like
you
that. And they were
serious?
like, it's like the unluckiest place on earth. And it all kind of made sense. And like after I heard that, I woke up the next day. I said,
Alright.
Yeah,
That's it.
We're out
I
of
was
here.
like, get out of here. So it was like it was gonna be like a nice weekend wedding in Ohio. That was like 12
remember
days
that.
of like, or 11 days of like brutal torture.
That's.
So yeah,
I think
probably
it's-
met a couple Chads too.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all out there.
The dealer's name
That's
was
perfect.
Chad.
I'm sure they're all out there.
A couple
So-
dealers named Chad bent me over.
Evan, got anything, man?
No real news today, guys. Yeah.
No news today.
I was gonna say, big thing in the news right now as far as bars go. This kind of goes back to the episode that we're gonna be releasing today. The sober bar has become a new thing. I don't know if
Yeah.
there's that like popping up in New York City and in LA.
Yeah,
but
there's
it's
a
place.
couple.
There's a place where people can go get
Just they can go hang out,
hang out, do
get
the social
non-alcoholic
thing,
cocktails.
and not feel.
That's
like,
good.
out of
They're
place.
called mocktails.
mocktails. Yeah.
Yes. And they're actually, there's a lot of people that are in recovery
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
there, which is, there's a 50,000 homeless people in Skid Row.
Right.
A lot of them are mental disease. A lot of them are addiction problems.
Absolutely.
Which is like such a bad, like the homeless in Los Angeles, anybody who's been there has seen it. It's
Heavy.
It's heavy,
Lots
man.
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
bad.
a lot of addiction.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are people, like, you can notice, like, what phase of their addiction they're in.
Right.
You can tell how long they've been homeless. You know what I mean? And it's like alcohol and drugs have taken everything.
Yeah.
You know?
Basically.
And so I'm a fan of it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I applaud it myself. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
cool.
Steve,
Just to expand on what we were talking about earlier, go out, explore, travel. You never know what kind of opportunity or what kind of experience you're going to have. Too many people, I feel like, get stagnant and stay in their comfort zone and don't expand. So love what we talked about today. Go out there. You might see something that you had no idea was even out there.
Right.
And you might fall in love with it. You might find a new passion. But yeah, constantly expand your mind. Keep traveling. Keep experiencing new things. That's all
no
I got.
regrets.
No regrets.
Right.
Absolutely. I have too many friends who dropped the ball on opportunities because they were too scared of getting out of their comfort zone.
Yep.
And it breaks my heart. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was fortunate enough to grow up overseas. I've been traveling. My dad did international business. So I feel like I have a pretty good scope. But more so than anything, I feel like I appreciate other people's viewpoints.
Oh, for sure.
And I think we can all improve that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Very true.
You know?
Very true.
So that's what I'm going to leave with. Nothing fun or entertaining.
Open-mindedness is a really good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're all too close-minded. Not necessarily people at this table.
Right.
But a lot of Americans, I feel like, don't travel enough.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I'll leave. There you go.
I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Stratus Media Group.
What?
You guys are always awesome. Christian P, thank you so much.
Yeah, no.
I want to thank Trey and Pat for being on the show. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, man.
It really
My
kept
distinct pleasure, Mr. Pryor.
seriously, man. We're about to come out in LA. I hope that if we ever make it out there,
Yeah, live episode out there.
live episode out there.
When we
EJ
make
and
it out
Georgia
there.
have come out. Jenna from Shuckers has come out. Chris Thompson, EJ Bowman.
Yeah.
And these are people that the more adapted I get, the more I can show them off. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or, take them around to
Right.
spots that a tourist would just walk by that I know
Right.
is there because I go there all the time.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you guys come out, obviously we'll have a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, guys, here we are again at the end of the episode. Thanks for checking in, Passing the Bar Podcast. Make sure you check us out, passingthebarpodcast.com. Send us an email. That's the exact same thing I just got finished saying, at gmail.com. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then you can also follow us on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Play, CastBox, and iHeartRadio. This is Chris, and we'll catch you next time.
Hell yeah.
That was dope. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I blacked out. I don't